Now we're going to calculate the hourly rates. So remember, these first three people where their contract says they're going to be paid an amount per year or per month, these are salaried people. So normally salaried people do not get paid overtime. So that means we would not usually calculate their hourly rate. However, this company is really nice to everyone. They say everyone is eligible for overtime. So notice these two people, even though they're salaried, they work more than 80 hours, so they're going to get 4 and 5 hours of overtime respectively. So to calculate their overtime pay, we first have to calculate the overtime rate. So let's do Olga's overtime rate first. So notice her contract says she's going to get paid $55,950 per year. So we have to figure out what this $55,950 a year is per hour. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 55,950 and divide by the number of working hours in a year. So how do we figure out the number of working hours in a year? Well, there's 52 weeks in a year, and the number of hours per day is 8 hours, so that would be 8 times 5 days in the week, so 40 hours per week. So we're going to take 40 hours per week times 52 weeks gives us 2,080 hours in a year. So to calculate her hourly rate, we're going to take, now you can hand code this in there, you don't need to do the formula. This number divided by 2080 gives us 26.9. However, remember my Excel tips about rounding. This number is not really 26.9, it's really 26.899. So we have to round this number. And to round the number correctly, we cannot use this increase and decrease decimal button because that does not round the actual number. We have to change the formula. So we have to say equals round, open parentheses, and then this number before the comma is whatever we want to round. And what we want to round is our little formula. And how many digits do we want to round it to? 2, and then we close parentheses. Again, you do not have to use formulas. So now I can decrease the decimal to make it look nice and neat. Okay, so we've got Olga's hourly rate of 26.9. For Emma, notice her contract says she's going to get paid $4,050 per month. So how do we calculate that into an hourly rate? Now, each month has a different number of days, so we can't try to figure out how many hours are in a month. So what we have to do is convert this 4,050 to an annual rate. So that's times 12, so equals this times 12. That gives us, or that gives her 48,600 per year. So now I want to do that calculation first, so I put that in parentheses. And then we can divide by 2080 hours in a year. Gives us 23.37. Let's increase our decimal. And notice there's a fraction of a cent, so we're going to have to round this. And when I say I increase the decimal, I use this thing up here. So I need to round this. Round, open parentheses, and the formula in front of the comma is what I want to be rounded. And then how many digits do I want to round it to? 2, close parentheses. There you go, 23.37. So now I can decrease the decimal to make that look nice and neat. Now I can use the same formula, so I can copy this formula down for Mario because Mario is also paid per month. And then if you want to double check to see that there's no extra decimals, we could increase the decimal and notice there are no fractions of cents. Okay, and then we need to calculate, we already know the hourly rate. For these people, this just equals 17.59 equals 1713 equals this. Okay, so that's how we calculate the hourly rate. Now we can calculate the overtime rate. So how do we calculate the overtime rate? That's easy. It's equals this times 1.5 times 9.5. And let's increase our decimal to see if there's fractions of cents, and there aren't any. Still, what I'm going to do is I'm going to round that just in case there is fractions of a cent way down the line. We're going to round this to 2 decimals. Okay, and now I can just copy this down. So let's increase these decimals just to prove to you that my round function works. Okay, so notice there are no extra zeros in here, but let me remove this. Let me remove the rounding from the formula to show you that the rounding did fix the problem. So the formula is just, without the rounding, it's this times 1.5. So notice, without the rounding, it results in $35.05. So I have to insert that rounding function in there to fix that. And now it's fixed. So that's how we calculate our overtime rate. In the next video, I will show you how to calculate the regular pay.